Hey guys, I'm Grim. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to talk about being Emperor. So last week, if you didn't notice, I made an announcement that I was pushing for Emperor, and this last week I accomplished that, so it was great. Thanks for everyone who pitched in. A lot of people joined me. I streamed it. It was great fun. So I just want to say thank you for everyone there. I also want to give a special shout out to Aladine, who actually sent me a mail in-game contributing gold. I really appreciate it, dude. That was very cool. The kind words were well received, and so you actually helped me to gold out a piece of armor, which is kind of rare for me because I test so many different sets, but it's one that I use all the time, so I thank you for that. Now, on to being Emperor. There are a few things I changed, but first, let's go over the passives so you understand kind of where I'm coming from when I make these changes. So, first of all, the passives. When you become Emperor, you unlock a series of Emperor passives under the Alliance War skill tree, and they only apply to you while you're in your campaign. And they are very significant buffs. So here we go. The first one is Domination. It increases your health, magicka, and stamina recovery by 100% while you are in your campaign. Authority increases your ultimate generation by 100%. Monarch increases your healing received by 50%. Tactician increases your damage done with siege to keeps and other siege by 100%. And Emperor increases your max health, magicka, and stamina by 75%. Now, keep in mind that this does not buff your weapon damage or resistance in any way. So, normally in the past, what I would have done is try to lean into these Emperor stats to make the most of them. That means that I would build high max stamina so I could take advantage of the 75% boost to your max stamina, because obviously that boost is going to scale off of whatever your base is. However, that was in the past, and for those of you who don't know, I did Emp 2 years ago, and I did it much differently. I actually didn't prepare well at all, but until just recently, while I was doing the math on some of these stats, I realized some things that I would do differently when I Emped, and so this is what I did. I actually completely threw out max stats from the equation, hardly thought about them at all, and I did not wear sets that contribute to a high max stat pool. As you can see, my maximum stamina is 31,900. Now, a lot of people would wear Bone Pirate Hulking Draugr, and I got a lot of questions about this, like, oh, would you wear Bone Pirate Hulking Draugr? Well, no, because Bone Pirate Hulking Draugr doesn't add any weapon damage at all, and that's something that is going to be really lacking if you're building all stats. Normally that can be okay, it can still do a lot of damage. Hulking Draugr and Spriggans is one of the best setups in the game for damage. It's huge, it's a great ganking setup, etc. However, that's because you hit around 45,000 max stamina. But after 45,000 max stamina, the drop-off for the damage added by max stats is really severe. So between 50,000 and 70,000, the increase that you're getting is very, very small. And for that reason, I wanted to focus on sets that gave me alternate forms of damage. And since I already wear sets that give me alternate forms of damage, I actually changed very little. What I did change is no more Troll King. I don't need Troll King because I get a huge amount of healing from the Monarch passive. An extra 50% is massive, and since my tooltips are all bigger too because of the max stamina, it means that my Vigor and Rally healing is just extreme. So I'm not dropping down as much, which means I don't need to recover as much. I can recover on my own without blood spawn. Now what's more important is getting resistance, because I want to not drop down. I want my 40,000 health to be extremely tanky 40,000 health. So I wanted to get very near to the resistance cap. And so what I did is I put on blood spawn, which is great because it gives you ultimate gen, resistance, and stamina recovery. All things that are super valuable while you're Emperor. And then I changed one of my rings. I normally wear 3 Spriggans rings. 1 Swift, 1 Protective, 1 Robust. And then the Robust one has a Stamina Recovery glyph. I switched out that ring for this Protective ring that has another 174 weapon damage. Now that I'm not worried about Stamina Recovery, I have just a ton of Stamina Recovery. An unbuffed 4K Stamina Recovery. I dropped my Recovery ring. I put on Blood Spawn, and I changed this out to be weapon damage. So now I'm getting more weapon damage, which is great. So you can see on this build, now my weapon damage is at 3.4k, and I almost always have continuous attack up, so it gets to 4k pretty easily, which is great. I could have also put the warrior on, but I didn't want to hurt my stamina recovery too much. I liked it to be around 4k because I could spam continuously. I never had to worry about it. I could always go 100% pressure, never had to worry about stepping out to recover, and I still had times where I'd get lowish, so I didn't want to push that. I could have, but it would have meant that I would have to strafe a lot more often and dip out of fights that I didn't want to dip out of. So I decided to keep my stamina recovery high and lose some damage for it, and that was worth it for me because that's still worth having very high. Now, with Bloodspawn procced and 3 protective glyphs, or I'm sorry, 2 protective glyphs, and Shadow Barrier, I was hitting 29k resistance. And I can't show you that, unfortunately, because I can't proc Bloodspawn. But if you just look at this, I have 21, almost 22k resistance before Bloodspawn even procs. So getting that very high, which was quite nice. Unfortunately, currently the Master Bow's procced, but I didn't have many other things to use. I would have put on a defending bow if I'd had time, but I didn't learn about the error, the glitch with the Master Bow until I was partway through my campaign of dominance as Emperor. So I was already Emperor at that point. I was like, you know what? It doesn't even matter. The damage difference is going to be pretty insignificant. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm defending just fine. Another thing I changed out my infused axe for a Nirnhoned Spriggan Greatsword. Nirnhoned is great as Emperor. I was using poisons anyways, but the reason for Nirnhoned is you want to buff your AoE attacks, and your Axe Bleed is not one of those, so I wanted to hit really, really hard Dawnbreakers. And then also with the sword, you get a 5% increase to damage done. And when you're Emperor, your damage done is really high because you have ridiculously high stats. I had 53 max stamina, 53,000 max stamina, and so my Dawnbreakers were hitting really, really hard. And so you'll see that in the video, and I wanted to buff that type of damage, so a 2H sword was the way to go for that, because you get the 5% damage increase on top of Nirnhoned. So that worked really well. And those are the major things I changed. I didn't really change much about my skill bar. I put on Dawnbreaker instead of Incap, which was a great change, and actually one that I'm keeping moving forward, because the Incap nerf really hurt it, and I think, in my opinion, it's made Dawnbreaker the better choice of ultimate in most situations. There are still situations where Incap is better, but it's extremely marginal, and it's still dodgeable. So if you're fighting good players, Dawnbreaker really helps secure those kills because you can't dodge it and it's AoE, so you don't even need to be targeting them. If they go stealth, you can still bring them out of it with a Dawnbreaker, and I've gotten several kills against off-guard Nightblades who are in stealth. In retrospect, I probably should have used Reverse Slice more often, but Killer's Blade was so fun because you get like a 10-12k heal when you're Emperor because it scales off of your max health. So if you're 1vxing, you can, not that you need to, but you can get a ridiculously fat heal when you're getting kills. So it allows you to keep the pressure on, and I just thought it was really fun. And Killer's Blade is a really fun ability. It increases my crit, so it helps all the damage even more, and I like that a lot. So I ended up enjoying Killer's Blade, even though Reverse Slice would have been really helpful in a lot of situations where you want a Dawnbreaker and follow up with a Reverse Slice and potentially kill multiple people. I had a lot of fun like this. Other stats that are worth noting, I had roughly 43,000 max health. Sadly, I can't show you here because I'm no longer the Emperor, but you'll see it in the video. The gameplay video, not this one. It's still this video, but I'm putting the gameplay later, and you'll see it there in the gameplay. My max stamina was 53,000, my max health was 40-something thousand, and my max magicka was 20,000. So I really didn't need any more boosts to those. Those were all in really comfortable places, and again, I'm wearing all triglyphs, so that helped a lot. It gave me a very robust stat sheet. My stamina recovery was around 4k, and my magicka recovery was around 1200. And so I never ran out. My magic recovery was way over the top for what I needed. I was always full. Having 20k, it was just really overkill, but I was like, whatever. Might as well. It didn't hurt me for sure. So I could basically perma-cloak, and I could poof as often as I wanted. Never felt any pressure on my magicka pool. And my stamina pool did just fine too. So I'm excited to show you these clips. I'm going to start by showing you clips of before I was Emperor and some of the fights I got. And then I have some fights against the same people after I became Emperor. And I think that it really it shows the difference in power that you get. And it's not even that I couldn't win these fights before, but once I became Emperor, there was just no pressure. I just barreled through people, and it's an enjoyable process to watch people running away from you, because it's really not fair. Obviously, it's not like I outskilled them, but when you're Emperor, you just have such magnificent stats that there's not much that people can do to you, especially in small groups or 1v1. So I really enjoyed it, and I hope you'll enjoy this footage. Thanks again to everyone who supported me through the push. I really appreciated that. A lot of people sent me potions and gold and just like little miscellaneous items, and then I got that big gold donation. So I really do appreciate it, guys. It means a lot, and the continued support is really cool, and it's been pretty special for me. So I hope you enjoy the gameplay, and I'll catch you in the next one. Just so I can point out, the next one is most likely going to be a Magicka Nightblade video. I know a lot of people have been asking me for Magicka Nightblade build. I'm working on it. Yesterday I spent 4 hours trying to farm some gear, and I didn't get it at all. So that it's been rough, but I will try and put this build together, test it, and then I'll show it to you guys as quickly as possible. Enjoy the footage. I had a lot of fun shooting it, so I hope you enjoy watching it. Thanks. See ya.
Oh, okay. That's helpful too. I'm surprised you don't already have it. Oh. Oh, it's you guys. Welcome to my lair. $44k health, boy. What? Really? Oh, well, no wonder you hated the build. And I kind of like it that way. Well, okay, I don't like it that way. If I could have... Oh my gosh! Oh, this is gonna get tricky. Okay, oh, we're gonna have to abandon this. Oh. Things just got complicated. Let me finish up my talk on fear after I 1vx these kids. Or try to. There's no point standing on the resource, chumps. Oh, come on. That's a really nice rest ult you have there. Dang it, do you do anything but heal? Gosh. What a chump. Thanks for the second rest of ult, my friend. Get it, you have a lot of healing. Gosh, you are going to hurt my feelings. There we go. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. you're gonna let you get away with that? Are you crazy? We've got a guy that only heals and a guy that does no damage. Gotcha. You're mine now, chump. Stop lagging about.
I need healing.
Got him. Okay, there we go. Works fine for me. Back in it now. Come to run away more? Roll! Roll! Didn't roll. You love to block. That's right, it's me. Okay, you think I'm completely brain dead? There we go.